Okay, well, I kind of completely forgot to do kind of an intro to why we were doing what we were doing, but we installed this glass block window, still not finished yet. It's got to cure up, and then right in the corner there, since it was so tight, we kind of did things a little backwards. It was originally just going to be the 3 across the bottom and then the 2, and then we figured instead of having to mortar like that thick a mortar, that's quite a bit of mortar for the thickness there, about 4 inches thick, the glass blocks, and or 3 inches thick, I can't remember, 4 or 3, but we ended up going with just shoving these last 2 in that I'm going to use for the other window. So I'm just going to have to buy a couple of more, maybe 4 more, because this ended up being all right like this. It looks halfway decent. Maybe put, you know, the 4 inch there and another 8 inch there, and then that, and then a 4, and then that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But all I'm going to do is just caulk it really good on the inside and outside along there, and that should be plenty good. You know, plenty good for keeping water out and whatnot. And then I am going to go over everything and the mortar, tape off the windows and go over the mortar with this waterproofing paint that I had used on the wall originally anyway. You know, the real heavy duty stuff. And the reason why it's really blue out right now is I got a tarp over the outside. It started to sprinkle a little, and the mortar is not set up yet, so I just decided to cover it up with the tarp that we had downstairs to cover catch all the dust and everything. But I got the vent window. That is going to be very nice, being able to get at least some air down here. And I kind of put a little bit of a level on the mortar here from the glass sloping down a bit in case anything does by chance leak in at some point. It'll just kind of run off down the wall into the little trough here and end up going to the drain. So yeah, but as far as that is, that did look exactly like this window here. Really crappy, you know, leaks a lot, not a whole lot, but you know, it leaks, and I don't want nothing to leak in this basement. You know, I just wanted to get sealed up and to take care of the dampness down here, because these 2 windows are the only thing that leak in this entire basement, besides a couple of spots on another window. And I'm just going to do the same thing with that. Those other windows, is go over all of the mortar inside and out with that waterproofing paint. Just tape off the glass block, paint it all up, let it dry, and you know, if you get the waterproofing on the outside and the inside, should be pretty good. So yeah, that was kind of an explanation showing the finished product. I got a new camera, so I figured I'd try out the time lapse that it's got. It's kind of fun to use that, you know, kind of show the entire job, because that took quite a while and you could fit it into such a small space. And we did, the window is a little bit not straight. It kind of bows out just a little bit, the top part, but that doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care. It looks good to me, you know, first time I ever doing it. Glad Paul came over. He had the right tools, you know, instead of just the plastic pieces of junk that we had for as far as just scrapers and trowels and whatnot. He had actual real good stuff, so he let me borrow those and came over and gave us a hand and whatnot. But it looks pretty good, and once the mortar sets up and everything, I'm going to go along the top with some because it does have a space going outside right now, because it's not touching the actual foundation piece or the bottom of the house or whatever. But that's not a big deal. I'm gonna buy that expanding foam that is made for doors and windows, so it's a little more waterproof and it stays flexible over time, doesn't really dry out and start cracking and kind of flaking away. So that should be good once I you know, caulk the side there, get the top, then I'll put the insulation back in. There was just one piece of insulation that we had to take out, and that's no big deal, and should be really good. You know, I'm really glad I got finally a vent window, and the other window is gonna have a vent window also. So that's going to be nice, at least be able to get some air down here. Even today, with just a little bit of a breeze that we had just with the window being busted out after we took it out, it felt good down here. It was really nice getting a breeze down here, and it was pretty hot outside too. It wasn't really cool, you know. It was when the sun was out, it was hot. It kind of sucked, but yeah, that's the window. We got that done, and I'm not going to do another video on the other window because it's pretty much the same process. You know, it's the same thing. It's the exact same window, same size, same glass block, and same mortar and vent window and everything. So that gives you an idea of what that is going to look like. And then, you know, I'm going to paint the sides so that matches up white, and then paint the base here too. Depends on how white the mortar gets, but I do want to do at least the inside pieces. It's setting up pretty good already. It's just a little bit spongy, but not bad. It should be good in a couple of days. And as far as the forecast says, we're not supposed to be getting any rain for the next few days, at least into Wednesday. So if it sprinkles a little tonight, I got that tarp over on it. I got it kind of nailed down so it's not going to move, and then a piece of metal on it so it's not going to blow away if it does get windy or whatever happens. Yeah, that's the window job. Came out really nice.